Hello everybody, thank you for clicking on my video. I'm Peter the Book Lover. I have a YouTube channel where I talk about books and movies, and I have a great time doing it. Hopefully you'll have a great time being in here. And today I'm going to do a Halls of 8. This is where I'm going to talk about more than 8 books, but 8 different categories of books that I recently acquired, and I can't wait to put these away. I've been holding on to these for quite some time. And I'm going to show you a bunch of books that are new to my collection. But before I get into the video, I want to ask you to have a heart and hit the like button if you enjoy this video. And if you can, let me know what you think in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And let's get into these books. But before I get into these books, I want to show you something else that I required that's not a book. And I want to ask you, what does this remind you of? Now, what this actually is a sink drain, but this is in the shape of something that's very dear to me. And what do you think what does this remind you of? I will answer at the end of the video. So, let's just start off with the book haul. And I've got a good amount of new Shakespeare that I'm going to show you. The first book I'm going to show you is Henry IV, Part 1, and then Henry IV, Part 2. So this looks like it's going to be a pretty interesting reading experience. That's the first thing. Then I got Macbeth, and I'm looking forward to reading that. I've never read Macbeth. I've heard that this is one of his most famous ones, and I'm looking forward to reading this finally. Then I have this one, Richard III. And I'm not really familiar with a lot of Shakespeare. I just read a Midnight Summer Dream, and I've also read Romeo and Juliet. Those are the only two that I'm familiar with. And I'm definitely looking forward to reading more. And then I have this one, Henry V. Looks pretty interesting. Don't know if it's a good story or not. And I've got this one, 4 comedies. We've got The Taming of the Shrew, A Midsummer's Night's Dream. That's the one that I've read. The Merchant of Venice. I have that one as well, but this is a collection of 4, and it's also got Twelfth Night, and I have not read Twelfth Night. That's the reason why I would have this book. Plus, I wouldn't mind just reading all these comedies together. I did enjoy A Midnight Summer's Dream. It was kind of fun. I really enjoyed that. And I have this copy of Taming of the Shrew. Looks really interesting, And then the last thing I'm going to show you is William Shakespeare, Star Wars. This is Star Wars told in Shakespearean writing, and it should be pretty interesting. What's really interesting is that I have The Empire Strikes Back in the same style, so this is going to be a lot of fun. And I love the back cover. look at Darth Vader with that look on his face. Yeah, so this looks really, really wicked. I'm really looking forward to checking this out. So that's all the Shakespeare that I'm going to show you. Now I'm going to show you a set of graphic novels that I recently picked up. And this is Tom Sawyer, a graphic novel. I've read this book before, and it's a really excellent book. And I'm really looking forward to reading the Tom Sawyer novel, by Mark Twain. Then we've got Ivanhoe by Sir Walter Scott. Now, I have the book, but I haven't read it yet, so I'm going to actually read the book first, and then I'm going to read the graphic novel. And it's probably going to really help me understand the actual novel a lot more by having it in a comic book form. Because you could really understand things a little bit better with the artwork, and you could actually see. You don't have to use so much imagination. And then we've got Aesop Fables, a collection of stories, I guess. I don't know which stories. I've read a few, and that really reminds me of the Brothers Grimm the Brothers Grimm has a lot of really excellent tales from the Brothers Grimm are pretty excellent, a lot of them. So I'm pretty sure this is going to be a lot of fun. I believe they did the original Snow White, and they actually did the original Hansel and Gretel. I really enjoy those a lot. And then Kenneth Graham's Wind in the Willows. I really love this book. This was a great book. So I might actually read this. I might actually read Wind in the Willows first, and then read this graphic novel afterwards. I love Toad, man. There's Toad, man. I love it. Toad was a really great character in this story. So these are pretty interesting, right? I really love these. Then I've got this book series, and I have 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the first one is number 2, and that is the Black Cauldron. Now, I've heard of the Black Cauldron. There's a Disney cartoon, and it's pretty dark. I haven't seen it, at least I don't remember seeing it, but I know that this is a really dark cartoon, and it's kind of like weird for a Disney cartoon. But yeah, the Black Cauldron. These are written by Lloyd Alexander, and yeah, I've been looking forward to checking this out. The Chronicles of Pradon, Book 2. The Chronicles of Pradon, Book 3, and this is the Castle of Lyre. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Then we've got book number 4, Tyrian Wanderer, and that looks really wicked, man. That's definitely a wicked cover. And then we've got book number 5, The High King. So I have not read any of these. I'm not really familiar with these stories, although I have heard of the Black Cauldron, and that's what interested me into getting these books. Okay, and then I've got, I don't know if I have a complete set. They might be more than that, but I've got 3 books from the same series by Catherine Lasky, and that is The Guardians of Ga'Hoole. And I've actually seen the movie, although I really like the animation in it, but I don't remember much of the story. But I'm really looking forward to reading these novels. And the first one is The Capture, and then The Journey. And it looks beautiful. I love the artwork. And The Rescue. And owls are really cool. They're one of my favorite birds. I've seen a lot of them, videos of them on TikTok and everything, and they're really adorable, man. They you know, I'm amazed in how cute they are, right? Okay, so then I also have got book 1 and 2 of, I believe this is a trilogy, but I've got the Wild Robot and the Wild Robot Escapes. These are written by Peter Brown. And I actually seen the Wild Robot at the library. Believe it or not, my library had a showing of this movie, and I watched it. It was kind of loud because there were a lot of kids there. And it was a decent movie, but I was expecting a little bit more because I heard these awesome reviews of it. And I liked it, but I preferred WALL-E a lot more. You know, WALL-E is kind of the same thing. But you know, I'm really interested in reading the literature of this because it was good enough. I did enjoy it enough to where I wouldn't mind reading these 2 stories. And if I really enjoy them, then I'll get the 3rd one. Then I've got 2 books on the same historical figure, and that is Abraham Lincoln. This is The Age of Lincoln. This is written by Orville Vernon Burton. And yeah, I love learning a little bit more about Abraham Lincoln. And this is Blood on the Moon by, you know, this is the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. And this one, it says, if you're going to read only one book on the Lincoln assassination, this is the one. And I've read 3 books on the Abraham Lincoln assassination, and all 3 were fascinating. So I can't imagine this not being an excellent book. It's a little bit thicker than the other books that I've read. on this historical event, because there was a lot going on, not just the assassination of Lincoln that night. There was a lot of other things going on, and it was really interesting. And the manhunt for John Wilkes Booth was really amazing as well. So I'm really looking forward to checking this out. Plus, also, the Age of Lincoln. I really think he's a really interesting president. Right now, I'm reading The Battle Cry for Freedom, and that is about the Civil War. And the Civil War was a really interesting thing. You know, they talk about a couple naval battles in this book, and one of the naval battles led to the battleship, because, you know, the South built this thing that was a lot like a battleship, and then the North built something that was a lot like a battleship, and they went against each other, but it kind of wound up being a tie. But it led to the ships we use today, you know, with the airplanes landing on all that and all that. That's where they got the design from this battle in 62, I think it was. Really interesting. Okay? And then I have this book right here, speaking about Tom Sawyer. I really love The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, and this is a story called James, and this is by Provincial Everett, and this is a story told from the eyes of James the slave that was on all these adventures with Huckleberry Finn. Now, I plan on reading Huckleberry Finn again before I read this, and I want to kind of read them back to back, but I really liked the character James in the story. He was a really great character. I really enjoyed him. He reminded me of Friday from Robinson Crusoe. You know, the slave character has always been a really interesting character to me, you know, because I actually see black people as people. I see them just like me, so I could really enjoy something like this. And I've seen other YouTubers talk about this book, and they've all said that they really like this a lot. So I'm really excited to have a chance to read this. Okay. So the last book that I'm going to talk about is the book that I'm very excited for. And I have read this. This is The Three Musketeers abridged book, and it was a lot of fun. I have this one, but I haven't read it yet. But now I have, by Alexander Dumas, The Three Musketeers, the unabridged book, and I really like this story, and I'm really looking forward to checking this out. I've been wanting to get my hands on this book for a long time, and now I have it, and I plan on reading this pretty soon. I do want to read The Count of Monte Cristo again. That was an excellent novel. I want to do something unique when I actually get around to reading The Count of Monte Cristo again, is that I've got the unabridged book, and I've got an abridged book of The Count of Monte Cristo, but that's like 700 pages long, and I plan on reading these like simultaneously, and that should be a lot of fun. Okay, so before I go, I want to get back into this. Now, what does this remind you of? I could tell you right away what this reminds me of. This reminds me of a lightsaber. Does that not? Am I wrong? Am I crazy? Or does this not look like a lightsaber? I might want to change this into, you know, a button. But yeah, this really reminds me of a lightsaber. I mean, right? That so looks like a lightsaber, right? And yeah, I'm really happy that I have this. I don't know what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to paint this and try to make this look like a lightsaber. But this definitely looks like the movie prop. I wouldn't be surprised if George Lucas actually turned this into a lightsaber. The same thing, a sink drain, you know? A lot of those props, like a lot of props on Star Trek were like really goofy things. Like the comlink, one of the comlinks they used in the Phantom Menace was actually a razor, like a funny shaped razor or something like that. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. And that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this haul. If you did, do me a favor, hit the like button, show me you got a heart, and let me know what you think in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. I'm Peter the Book Lover. I really want to thank you for being here. thank you so much for giving me your time, and I hope you enjoyed some of these books that I talked about. Let me know in the comments what you think. Are any of these books that if you got, would you be excited about? Because I'm really excited about a lot of these, you know. A lot of these are really excellent, and I'm really looking forward to getting around to reading them. So I got to go so I could get to reading, and I'll see you next time. I'm Peter the Book Lover. I love the fact that you came here. See you next time.